Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. The script I've done for this review has been through so many rewrites, because I have so much to say about this game, but at the same time I want to keep this mini review, well, mini. So I might do a more long-winded thoughts on vlog video kind of thing alongside this. I don't know, let's just talk about the game. In Dual Destinies, you play as Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney who hasn't stepped foot in court for 8 years, because he became a bit of a hobo, alcoholic, drunk piano player in Apollo Justice. We don't talk about Apollo Justice. And yes, while I do hate what Shu Takumi did to Phoenix in that game, it actually made Dual Destinies kinda cool. He might have proven himself as a truly expert attorney in the old games, but after being out of commission for so long, he's now a rookie learning the ropes all over again, which is awesome to me. Seeing him sweating and getting all nervous just feels right. While Dual Destinies doesn't contain nearly as many returning characters as I would like, the new characters to the franchise definitely make up for it. Athena Sykes, Bobby Fulbright and Simon Blackwell are all awesome. A happy-go-lucky detective who is obsessed with justice, and a prosecutor who is also a prison inmate is perfect. That is the exact kind of craziness that makes Ace Attorney awesome, and it could so easily have come off as trying too hard to be silly, kinda like how Suda51 became. The gameplay in Dual Destinies is, for the most part, the same as it's always been. You walk around, talk to people, show them things, gather info, investigate crime scenes, all the good stuff. But in Dual Destinies, a lot of that has kinda been stripped back a little bit. While I do understand why they made the game more linear and easy, I kinda preferred the wandering around aimlessly. There was no strategy guide to-do list. It was completely left to you to figure out where to go and what to present which evidence to who. Also, you can't search every area like you could before. Only designated crime scenes, which is pretty lame to me. I felt more like a detective when I was searching everywhere, finding little scraps of evidence in places I wouldn't expect. But at the same time, I understand that they'd rather have one really detailed 3D room to explore, rather than 15 2D not that interesting places to explore. Still, it kinda left Dual Destinies feeling like too much of a breeze, and a lot less satisfying for me. But the court sections of the game are where it truly shines. They do feel slightly easier than before, but it's still incredibly satisfying to find that one contradiction and expose all of their lies by shouting, "Objection!" It will never get old. Dual Destinies features 5 cases and 1 extra DLC case, making this technically the longest Ace Attorney game yet. Every single case feels tightly wrapped and incredibly well written, with hilarious characters, awesome twists, a fantastic sense of tension, and well, everything else you'd need for a good story, I guess. I'm gonna be honest, I was really worried that they wouldn't be able to capture the kind of crazy but yet plausible Ace Attorney stories, but I have to say, they did it amazingly. Ever played a game where you have to prove the innocence of a giant orca, or cross-examine the testimony of a rap? Yeah, exactly. Pairing all of this with an absolutely kick-ass soundtrack makes this game an awesome experience every time. But unfortunately, I do have quite a few problems with this game, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to list them all without going too in depth. If I do ever make a thoughts on video, I'll explain my criticisms a little bit more there. Go! I don't like that the game takes place 8 years after Apollo Justice. Phoenix Wright's in his mid-30s and Pearl Fay is 18. Oh, that bothers me. I don't like that. Phoenix Wright's in the title of the game, but it barely feels like his game. You spend way more time playing as Apollo and Athena. Seeing as this game was made by a different studio, it would have made more sense to me to make it a spin-off with Athena's name in the title. Like, you know, like Athena Sykes Ace Detective or something like that. I won't give away any spoilers, but a character who makes a cameo in the final case acts completely different from what you've come to expect of the character. It's like it doesn't even feel like you're talking to them. It's kind of weird. The anime cutscenes are dumb, cliche, and lame. For example, the opening cutscene has Athena falling downstairs for no reason at all. No reason. Why? We get it, she's a ditzy goofball. Oh, look how silly. That's so silly. Oh, Athena. Final complaint, I know it's been beaten to death already, and every single person who's a fan of Ace Attorney knows what I'm about to say, so say it with me. No physical release. Really? Now my collection looks incomplete. Thanks. By the way, I do want to clarify that I know most of those complaints were more nostalgic fanboy nitpicks than actual complaints, but nevertheless, it's still things I wanted to bring up, so I brought them up. But despite all of that, Dual Destinies is awesome, and I highly recommend it to any and every Ace Attorney fan. And despite all of my efforts, this script is still way too long, so I'm just gonna cut this review short and end it here. Oh, and before you ask, no, I'm not making 3DS reviews a regular thing.